What's good, fam? Has there ever been a time where you thought about spending your hard-earned money on a high-end fragrance like Creed Absolu Aventus versus going out and spending a few bucks on something that smells what a lot of people been telling you smells exactly like it, or is a close dupe of it? That's a small possibility or a good possibility that you've probably been lied to over the past year and a half about where to put your hard-earned money at. I'm here to put all those rumors to bed today for two popular fragrances that have been in the spotlight for the past 2 years. If you want to know which one to choose between Club de Nuit, Precieux 1, and if it really does smell like Absolu Aventus, or the real deal, Absolu Aventus, is it a game changer? Is Precieux 1 really that close to Absolu Aventus? Let's find out. Keep it locked. I'm about to put you on game right here, right today. We're going to put all this to bed. What's good, fam? It's your boy, AP the Fragranceking, man. Welcome back. All right, listen. If you're somebody that is looking to be somebody, you're trying to get into fragrances, you don't know what to buy, and you want an unbiased, non-paid review on fragrance, you want an honest take on the fragrance, then keep it locked right here, man. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, share with anybody that you feel like might be interested in the same things that you are, right? So without further ado, let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about two popular men fragrances by two powerhouses, right? One is I would like to call them an up-and-coming powerhouse in Armaf, right? And then the other one is a well-known Creed, right? We all know Creed and all of the great fragrances that they brought to us over the past however many years, 20 plus years, right, that they've been in the game. Where now the company in and of itself was sold, right? But they still been coming out with some bangers, man. You know, they had Centaurus, they had Delphinus, they done had a whole bunch of different fragrances come out. And then the latest they've had is this beauty right here, Absolu Aventus, right? And there's been a lot of talk about Absolu Aventus and the price point. There's been a lot of controversy about the price point. And then you had Armaf that came out a year later with Club de Nuit Precieux 1. So today we're going to be breaking these fragrances down and talking about which one is better and if you should be spending your hard-earned money. I've had the opportunity to rock both of these fragrances in great length, so I can give you my honest take on it, right? Like I said before, this is an unpaid, unbiased clip of my breakdown of these fragrances and what I experienced and whether or not it's the right thing for you to spend your hard-earned money, $600 and some on Creed, or do you want to spend $60 on Armaf, right? So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it with Club de Nuit Precieux 1 by Armaf, right? Beautiful, beautiful fragrance, man. I can tell you that when I wore this fragrance, I did get compliments, right? Like I was pumping gas and there was a strong smell of gas in the air. Dude, at least two dudes walked up to me, man, was like, man, what's that you smell? I mean, what's that you got on? Like I can smell it in the air. And I told him that it was Armaf Club de Nuit Precieux 1. And one dude told me that he thought that it was Aventus. Not Aventus Absolute, but he thought it was the original Aventus. But when I told him how much it was, man, they was talking about picking it up. So I did get two compliments when I put this fragrance on. And then also I got a compliment when I was in the grocery store. All right, so this fragrance does get compliments. Let's talk about what's actually in this fragrance, right? And if it's actually even similar to Creed Absolu Aventus. So with Precieux 1, man, in the top notes, you're going to get pineapple, of course. You're going to get lemon. You're going to get bergamot. You're going to get caramel, pear, pink pepper, and black pepper. So you're going to get a lot of pepper and a lot of citruses in the top note of this fragrance. And then you got that caramel accord, which gives it a sweet essence, right? The sweet essence might be a little different from what you would get in the Creed fragrance, right? And then in the middle notes, you got oak moss, you got whitewood, you got jasmine, and then you got lily of the valley, ambroxan. You got jasmine and lily of the valley. Really, that's what you get in the middle notes. And then in the base notes, you got ambroxan, white musk, patchouli, amber, cedar, leather, and vanilla. Now, what do you pick up when you first put this fragrance on? when you first put this fragrance on your skin, you're going to get a blast of citruses, sweet citruses, right? And I don't really pick up on the caramel note, but the caramel note is in there. And if you do pick it up, depending on what the weather is outside, it's a slight hint of caramel. It's not like a heavy dose of caramel in this fragrance, but you will pick up on the lemon and the pineapple, right? And the black currant, the bergamot, the whole nine. So it's very citrus forward in the opening. And then in the middle notes, I can tell you that it starts to become more of a floral tone that you're gonna be picking up in the middle notes. Now, here to me is where things start to kind of change and shift a little bit, right? A lot of people would say that the change comes from the floral notes that you get in the middle of the fragrance, but I think the dry down to me is where it changes, right? The dry down to me is extremely smoky. You can pick up on the leather, right? I don't necessarily pick up on the vanilla in this fragrance, but I do pick up on the leather and the cedar, right? A little bit of musk, and then the ambroxan, of course. And to me, that's what you get in this fragrance. Is it a great fragrance? Yes. Is it worth the money? Yes. Okay. Longevity. Let's talk about longevity. So I got at least 12, 13 hours of wear out of this fragrance. And that is, I think I did six sprays, man. I did two on each side of the neck, one in the center of the chest, right? One on the back of the hand, on each hand, and then on the forearm, on my left forearm. And to me, that did it. A lot of people, if you want, you can go heavier. But this fragrance is only $60. So for what you get for $60 is well worth it. Hang around though, because now I'm about to get ready to talk about Creed Absolu Aventus and then what we actually get in Creed Absolu Aventus. Look at this, man. The bottle in and of itself is beautiful. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's a little bit different than the original Creed, the OG. Now, let's talk about Creed Aventus and that DNA in and of itself. This is one of the most heavily cloned fragrance DNAs that's out there on the market, right? So it was only right that Creed did something a little bit different. And as soon as they did something a little bit different, people start cloning it. Now, what I'll tell you is in the original Creed Aventus, on the dry down, it gets super smoky. And that turns some people off. And then, some people love the smokiness on the dry down. The opening is beautiful. It was a beautiful scent. A lot of people call it a go-to scent. Now, where Absolu Aventus would differ from the original, just like the Aventus cologne, the cologne was more citrus based. It was heavy on the citruses. It was light and airy, more of a summer, spring type of fragrance. This fragrance, however, differs, right? And I'm going to get into the note breakdown for this, right? So you're going to get in the top notes, you're going to get grapefruit, which you don't get in Precieux 1. You're going to get bergamot. You're going to get pink pepper. You're going to get black currant, pineapple, nutmeg, and cloves. So not only are you getting the citruses in the opening, but you're also going to get some spices in the opening as well. So you're going to get some citruses in the opening, a little bit of pepper. And then, like I said, you're going to get nutmeg and cloves. So citrus, pepper. Middle notes, you're going to get ginger, cinnamon, citron, cardamom, and rose. So you're still getting a bunch of spices, even in the middle notes, right? You're still getting a whole bunch of spices in the middle notes. The base notes, you got patchouli, vetiver, oak moss, ambroxan, musk, sandalwood, tonka, and evernyl. Evernyl is a raw chemical that a lot of perfumers, they put in their fragrance. It kind of binds and hold everything together. And so Creed Absolu Aventus, as you can see just from the note breakdown, it differs tremendously from Precieux 1, right? Where Precieux 1 went heavy in the opening with a bunch of citruses, and they added some sweet notes like caramel, some candy notes like caramel, and then the note of pear. Pear is not in this particular fragrance, but they do got pineapple and grapefruit. Now, what makes this unique is so you get all of the elements of the original Aventus, and then you add a heavy dose of spices. And if you ask me, that makes this a more well-rounded fragrance. You know why? Because you can rock this in the spring, you can rock this in the summer, and it's a hit in the fall and the wintertime as well. It's a hit in the fall and the wintertime as well. So those spices make this a more well-rounded fragrance. Precieux 1 takes a different route when they went with the floral notes in the middle, right? They went with the floral notes in the middle, and this tends to lean more on the spices, and then in the dry down, of course, you got the musk. Now, if you ask me, does this smell like this? I can absolutely tell you that on the opening, you might get remnants of this from this. Now, if you're looking to see if it's one-on-one, it's definitely not one-on-one. I'm gonna be honest. Like when I first bought this, I thought it was one-on-one, but that was before I had bought this. I bought this after I bought this, because I'm like, I'm not spending $610 plus tax on a fragrance. But after smelling this for a while, I realized that I wasn't really a fan of the dry down of this. The opening on this is beautiful, but the dry down, it got like way too smoky for me. And that's what turned me off about the original Aventus. The original Aventus is a beautiful, beautiful scent, but the dry down was a bit too smoky for me, right? And that turns a lot of people off. And I was one of the ones that it turned off. And that's what Precieux 1 did for me, which it became a fragrance that I didn't really reach for. Yeah, the smokiness is what really did it for me. At the end of the day, it's gonna be what smells good to your nose. All right. My personal opinion, do these two smell the same? I wouldn't say that they smell the same, but they do smell similar. All right. You can get a decent wear out of both. Okay. Precieux 1, in my opinion, is not gonna be for the fall and the winter, primarily because of the floral notes. And when we think about flowers, we think about the spring and more so the summer. We don't think about florals and green grasses and flowers and lilies and stuff like that in the fall and winter time, because those type of things usually die off during those months. With this, because of the spices, it doesn't have the floral notes. When we think about spices, we think about nutmeg and cinnamon and things like that. We think about Thanksgiving. We think about doing pies and all of that type of stuff that you would think about in the wintertime and the fall time. So, which one of these is the better buy? I would say that if you are somebody that don't mind spending a little bit of money, you know what I mean, save up your duckies. This fragrance you can get at retail. It retails for $610 plus tax, so you're gonna be looking at about $650 for the full size bottle of this. They do sell it on discounters. You can find it on places like Jomo Shop or Max Aroma and things like that for like $400 and some change plus tax. They do still sell the 2.5 ml bottle, which was the first rendition of Creed Absolu Aventus that they released. A lot of people's upset because it was 2.5 ounces, but they only got, 2.5 for $545, which was crazy. And then they came out with this and they added like 80 more bucks, and they gave you another ounce. Okay, so weigh your options, man. You can, in the 2.5 ml bottle, you can find on places like Jomo Shop 2 for cheap. You can probably get it for like $340. So that might be a better bargain for your buck. Or if you're somebody that's trying to save a little bit of money, man, and you want something that's similar to Aventus, but you don't care about the quality and things like that, then you can't go wrong with Precieux 1. It's a beautiful scent, man. If you somebody that like the florals, mixed with a little bit of Creed, a twist on Creed Aventus Absolu, then go with Precieux 1. $60, man. You can't go wrong with it. And I'm gonna be honest, the average nose out in the public won't be able to tell the difference if you wearing Precieux 1, right? If you tell them that you got on Absolu Aventus, they not gonna question you, unless you run across somebody that absolutely, that's what they do. They live and breathe fragrances. They'll be able to pick up on the differences. The main differences though is gonna be the spices in Creed Absolu Aventus, and then the floral notes in Precieux 1. I like the dry down better on this one. It seems more natural. It actually smells more expensive. Precieux 1, in my opinion, the quality is there, but it does smell a little bit more synthetic. It does smell a little bit more cheaper. You can actually tell that it's cheaper. All right. So that's pretty much my breakdown of the two, man. $600 versus $60. Both of them smell great. You're gonna get 10 hours plus longevity out of all of them, out of both of them, right? It's just a matter if you want to spend the money. A lot of people don't care about that, man. I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of these influencers will get on here and they'll tell you, oh, this is an absolute 1-for-1. It's 95%, it's this and this, that. And then if you look down at the bottom, it says commission, earns commission. They getting paid to tell you what it is, man. And I've been long said that if I was ever offered money to do a fragrance review, a part of the stipulation would be that it's got to be my honest review, whether I'm getting paid or not. So if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is. I wasn't a fan of the regular or OG Aventus, but I like this one. And I also like the Creed Aventus cologne. I'm out of that. I got to re-up on that, man. So that's my time for the day. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you want to see more content like this, man, make sure you comment down below. Let me know. If you've gotten your nose on these, if you have these and you've worn them, let me know what your take is. Let me know if it smells similar to you, if it's 90%, what was the longevity? What occasion did you wear? Like, I absolutely want to know, man. And I would engage with you in the content, right? So if you comment below, let's engage in the conversation, man. Let's build up one another. Let's give each other great gouge, and let's move forward, man. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you've made it this far, then you might well go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. It doesn't cost anything. I don't make any money from it, but it just lets YouTube know that you're somebody that enjoys this type of content. And that way, when I upload a video, you will be one of the first to be notified. All right. I got some stuff coming down the pipeline, so I'm gonna be doing another fragrance review, another compare and contrast on a few fragrances, right? That's coming down the pipeline. So you don't want to miss that. So stay tuned, man. In order to stay tuned, like I said before, hit that bell notification so you'll be notified. That's all my time for today. It's your boy AP the Fragrance King, man. I appreciate y'all, and I'm out.